Happy Friday, everyone.
Hello.
I am Lauren.
I'm Sunny.
And we are back with Fit Tips with Sunny and Lauren. We are here today to go on with our deadlift series and show you how to weight some of the exercises we showed you last week as deadlift variations.
All right, so again, Lauren is gonna be demonstrating. I'll be talking her through the movements. So we're gonna start with the toe elevated deadlifts, or toe elevated hip hinge we did last week, adding a little bit of weight to it for your deadlift this week. So we have a barbell to load this movement with. She has her plates about hip width apart, toes are elevated just like last time. Now adding the weight, it's gonna put a lot more load on the upper body, so make sure your shoulders are squeezing back, weights in your heels. You should feel hamstrings, should feel your glutes. From there, use to keep your abs braced so your back stays nice and straight, nice and tall at the top, slow back down. Yep, and back up. Awesome. Make sure when you're doing these, you're really focusing on that posture through your shoulders and keeping your core braced so your back isn't shifting. All right, from there, we're gonna progress, well not progress, but we're gonna go into narrow stance deadlift. So this is where feet are staying fairly close together. And again, we're gonna show you how you can load that with a barbell. So feet stay about hip width apart or narrower. Same form as you just did for her toe elevated. And focusing on making sure you have equal pressure through the whole foot. And you wanna be mindful that your knees aren't wobbling in and out. So glutes are engaged the whole time, abs are engaged the whole time. So everything stays locked in place. You're just hinging at the hips. Just like we did last week with no weight, just making it harder this week, adding a little bit of weight to it, okay? So that's a couple ways you can use a barbell to load your hip hinge movements to help strengthen lower body. Now we're gonna show one way that you can use a band. So last week we showed you how to do sumo deadlifts body weight. And this week we're gonna add a band to it to load your hips and your glutes and your core. So you're gonna stand wide, bands right underneath the middle of your shoes. You'll find your posture here. It's a big squeeze wide open, so you should feel a lot of work on the outer hip as you're doing this. Shoulders stay back, the band's gonna be pulling you forward. You wanna make sure you're not rounding your shoulders as you come up, so you're really fighting it, keeping your core braced. And you can use a band similar, just like this for narrow stance, and for the toe elevated, if you don't have a barbell, you'll just hold the outsides of the bands inside instead of the inside. All right, so that's one way you can use a band to load your hip hinge movements at home or at the gym. Then moving on, we're gonna show you how you can use some dumbbells to load some of these movements. So we're gonna have a rear foot assisted that we did last week. Last week we had you practicing standing on top of that little mini band to show you foot position, how to get the right foot position there. If you want to still use your mini band, keep going with that. If you are pretty comfortable with the movement, take the mini band away and just repeat the exact same thing with weight here. Hips go back, back stays flat. Again, shoulders are back, kind of common theme here. Back flat, shoulders stay flat, and you're just loading your hips. Let's get a side angle also. So face me. Yep, she has that 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Weight is equally distributed through her whole foot here. And she's loading that hip as she goes back, keeping that plank essentially in her whole torso. Make sure you do both sides. All right, and then last exercise that we're gonna go through for dumbbells, you can do your single leg balance exercise that we did the past couple weeks actually, weighted, holding the dumbbells with control. If you wanna make it a little harder, you can stay in your one leg balance the whole time as you come up. Or you can tap in between every time if you need to, if you feel a little bit wobbly or a little unstable. And if you still feel unstable with this exercise, just practice that rear foot assisted one until you do feel comfortable there, then you can start to load this movement. All right, so that's just a few ways you can load your hip hinge movement using barbell, band, dumbbells. Lots of other ways you can also load these movements as well. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, send us videos, send us comments. We'll be happy to help.
And if you guys only have one of these options, dumbbells, bands, or barbells, let us know because all of the hip hinge options can be loaded with any of them. So if you need more variations, just let us know and we will be happy to help. All right, have a wonderful weekend and we will see you back next Friday.
Bye guys.